You see, Nigeria is a blessed country. You know, in all the countries of the earth, Nigeria has a very large oil reserve and running into billions of barrels. Nigeria is the sixth largest oil producing country on earth, and we're a member of OPEC.
Are we still retaining that position right now? Or
Yeah, we are.
That is what we were.
We are still the sixth largest oil producing nation on earth.
On paper?
And I'm not saying in Africa. We are the largest oil producing country in Africa.
Is it still on paper or in reality? That's what I want to know.
You see, these are statistics done by accredited agencies, and truly, Nigeria actually, the figures are there. You know, when we export and when we have a little hitch, you know, in a particular period, you know, they don't use that to determine where we are. For example, when we had the little issue with the focados and everything with MEND, our oil output per day went down to as low as about 800,000 barrels per day. But we kick back, you know, we're still well above 1 million barrels per day, close to 2 million barrels per day. You know, you remember that at a point we were up to about 2.5 million barrels per day production. So those figures put us where we are today. Okay. In the whole of Africa, you know. And there are so many African countries that have oil, but, you know, some produce 5,000 barrels per day. Some produce up to like 500,000 barrels per day, like countries like South Africa, countries like Angola, and countries like Algeria. In fact, Angola and Algeria has up to 1 million barrels per day output, you know. And Egypt has about 500 to 600,000 barrels per day. And if you look at where we are today, you would know that we're a blessed country. Okay. To have that much, to be the leader in Africa, one, and to be the sixth largest in the whole world. It's a situation where you should never hear that there is anything like forecasting in a country like this.
We are still asking the same question. Where are we still going around the circle?
So looking at where we came from, oil exploration started way back 1923 or thereabout with Texaco and all that. But oil was found in Nigeria, in oil fields in Oloibiri in Delta, around 1956. But by 1958 we registered an oil field production, and we actually lifted oil for the first time. We started exporting in 1958, and the first exportation was about 5,000 barrels per day. And so we started with that. Then after the Biafran War, about 1970, 1971, Nigeria's oil became an asset. Because prior to that time, we were still dependent on agricultural exports. So the key player was Shell British Petroleum, Shell BP from the UK, and later American companies like Mobil, Chevron, Texaco started coming in to help us drill, and there was a formula for sharing, you know, and all that. Nigeria takes 60%, this one takes 5%, that one takes 3%, another one takes 30%, Shell takes like 30-40%, you know. So along the line, so many regulations came up, you know. NNPC was created, you know, with
DPR?
Different bodies, the DPR, the Petroleum Product Pricing Regulatory. So there are so many agencies that came up, you know, and all of that was created to create the regulatory framework for the operation in the industry. And at a point they discovered where they are was faulty, and so there has to be a little shift from, you know, the thinking of how, you know, we had it back in the day from Yakubu Gowon period where we had the oil boom and up to Obasanjo and all that.